That's nonsense. That doesn't make any sense at all. And then you're going to try and take my license if I don't continue my job. I'm going to contest that. I'm going to hire a lawyer. I just came across a very peculiar article on yourtango.com with a headline that reads, HR notifies teacher who quit that they are expected to return because the school couldn't find a suitable replacement. Desperate for advice on how to navigate the situation, she's turned to Reddit professionals to help. Written by Zeta Slabikurin, published on October 6th, 2024. And when I read this, I said, how is this possible? Is it even legal that your school can tell you, despite the fact that you have turned in a resignation letter, that you can't quit? You have to continue on with your job. Let's actually take a look at the details in this article. So again, here it tells us exactly what happened. After putting in her notice of resignation at the end of the year, a teacher on Reddit was sent an unsettling message from her school's HR department over the summer. You are expected to return to the classroom, the school administrator wrote in their email. The district has yet to find a suitable replacement. And I clicked and followed the link to the subreddit. You can see right up here, this is posted by chick_a_d0. And it says, when you finally try to leave teaching, in here, Chickadee has posted the email with the school name blanked out, of course. But here it is. Human Resources says, you can't quit. You got to continue with the job until we find somebody to fill this position. And scrolling through here, you see that it says, while it seems like an insane assumption on the school district's part, they have some legal and ethical grounds to do so. Many teachers are forced to sign an employment contract after being hired that details the terms of resignation. In some districts, that means being contractually obligated to continue teaching after quitting until there's a suitable replacement. And then, of course, the article goes into what a lot of the Redditors said. Someone says, I had no idea this was a thing. One wrote, maybe consider finding a temporary job outside of teaching in case they come after your license. So I had no idea this was a thing either. I have never signed a teaching contract that had this kind of stipulation in it, that I have to continue teaching or anything. As a matter of fact, the contract that I have right now simply says that the contract can be terminated by either party. So the school can terminate it, I can terminate it, and it doesn't really say anything beyond that. So this situation is new to me. And it says here, while she's still technically able to quit, her school could come after her teaching license or pursue legal action for breaching the contract she signed during the hiring process. So this is very scary. The fact that you could quit, and if they don't find someone to fill your position, then the school can actually come after your teaching license and strip that license away. Something that a lot of people have to work years for. Crazy. And here's someone else that says, other teachers on Reddit agreed that this isn't an uncommon situation for many school districts. The exact thing happened to a friend of mine, one wrote. He got an offer at a better school, tried to resign. A few days before the new school year, he got this exact letter, almost to the word. And going on, unfortunately, the power that many school districts wield can allow them to suspend a teacher's license, taking away any opportunities they might have to find another teaching job in the same state. So, wow. Something that if you are not aware of, that you should consider, that this is possible, that even when you try to quit, that the school says, no, you actually cannot quit. And I want to talk about one thing that I thought was a little strange and might be important to determine whether because so let me just get into it. So here it says there are a lot of details that are kind of filled in this article. It says here, starting at the beginning, that basically the teacher, Chickadee, she put in her resignation at the end of the year. And when I went back to this Reddit article, this is what the original post said. And I tried to search for comments, follow-up comments by this Redditor, Chickadee0. And this is all that I found is love it. I should probably ask them to think about their why. There's nothing to indicate when Chickadee actually turned in the resignation letter. So I'm a little suspicious of that claim, or what's stated here in Your Tango, which, again, you always got to follow up these news articles to find the truth, because I can understand if you try to quit one day, and leave. Basically, if a district has this in place, they're like, you can't just, we don't want you to just up and leave one day. Just like you're there one day and the next day you're like, bye, I quit. And you leave a position vacant for a long time. It is common courtesy and common practice for most companies that you put in like a 2-week letter if you're going to resign. So that gives the company some time to find a replacement and put that in. I think that it's ridiculous and absolutely absurd if Chickadee did in fact resign at the end of the school year, and that gives you a couple of months to find a replacement. And if they can't find a replacement, I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me, that a school would just say, well, we're not going to hire anybody. We can't find anybody, so we're just going to keep you here as long as we want to. That doesn't seem reasonable. And as far as a teaching license being suspended over something like that, I would say, if I gave you if I resigned at the end of the school year and you can't find anybody, and then you're going to try and take my license if I don't continue my job, I'm going to contest that. I'm going to hire a lawyer and try to deal with this or whatever. Go to this. I don't know how that sort of thing works, but it doesn't make any sense to me. So it is possible, at least in my opinion, that Chickadee just tried to quit, and then maybe the next day she got this message, because I can't find any other evidence here to suggest otherwise. All I see are the comments from other Redditors who have talked about this situation. But the reason that I am going over this article and just bringing this up is because this shocked me. This is surprising to me. And I actually did not know that this kind of clause existed in teaching contracts, but I do believe that it makes sense that, you should, if you're going to quit your job, you should give your employer some advance warning to let them know that you're not going to be showing up, so that they can find a suitable replacement in a reasonable amount of time. But if what is being said in Your Tango, and this is in fact true, that she put in a replacement at the end of the school year and the school hasn't found anyone yet, and they're trying to bind her to that contract and make her show up the next year, that's nonsense. That doesn't make any sense at all. And I definitely can't stand for that. And I don't think that there's anyone else who would think that that's reasonable either. But hey, maybe I'm wrong about this, and that's why I create these videos. I would love to hear what you guys think. Does the school have a point? Is it justified, them trying to hold her to this contract and make her stay in her position? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, make sure that you like this video if you like this content and you want to see more of it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, especially if you're new. Hit that bell icon so you never miss out on news from Classroom Camp. That's all I have for you today. See you next time.